She is so freaking stupid, by Ref says Desu. Well, this is probably about Denims. Let's see what Denims has done. Good old Denims. Also, if you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. It would be a huge help. Well, let's see what Denims has done. This is about Denims. So let's see. Let's actually see. Well, let's go.
Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. Sorry for the lack of a VTuber model for this video. I'm not in the usual humble abode. I'm currently traveling and using my potato laptop over here that cannot handle the tracking app I use for my model, but nevertheless, the show must go on. Today we're going to be going over some hilarious updates regarding the Ethan Klein.
Look at that like-dislike ratio. Look at that. 140k basically, and 9 versus 9k. Very interesting. Also a million views. That's not bad. That's not bad. Not bad. Well, it's very much deserved. It just makes sense that this would happen.
Lawsuit, or should I say set of lawsuits he's filed against 3 different creators for copyright infringement. To sum it up very quickly, what we talked about last time, that is, essentially Ethan Klein released a content nuke on Hasan Piker. It was supposed to be an exposed video, but there was a second layer to that. He officially copyrighted that video, and some of the people who reacted to it maliciously, including those who are trying to act as a market replacement for the video, meaning they wanted people to go to their streams to watch the video instead of watching the video.
Basically, they made others, like, they literally maliciously said, don't watch his video, watch it with us. There was an entire Reddit thing. The huge problem was that they maliciously did, like, they straight up admitted that they just didn't want other people to watch the actual video. Not only that, but the reactions, and that's the main problem, I think, which is going to kill all of them, is that the reactions weren't particularly good. Like, they aren't, like mine, where I just, like, double or quadruple sometimes the video. Caseytron did like half an hour reactions, 13 minutes were like yapping, other 18 minutes were like smoking, and she doesn't even remember the video anymore. Denim just sat there, looked at it. Same goes for Frogan. So yeah, they are in fact cooked.
Itself, they are now being sued by Ethan for those exploits. Now, the subjects of these filings, of course, include Denims TV, the Hasan Piker waiting room who speaks at a 0.25 speed. Then we have Frogan, Twitch's 2-time rising.
Why does she even have this unflattering banner? Why does she have this unflattering banner? Why does she have that? Why does she have that? That's so unflattering.
Star. And then we have, well, weed smoker Caseytron. I don't really know what else to say about her. That's pretty much all she's got.
That's all she's got for a simple reason. As far as I'm aware, Caseytron was in fact a fairly renowned streamer back in the day, like a fairly renowned female like a gamer girl. And then she fell off. Now she's doing this, falling off even more.
But there's been some funny discoveries since the filing of the lawsuits, including some unearthed footage of the Take podcast, which apparently included all 3 recipients of these lawsuits from Ethan Klein. And the title is very funny given the context of the lawsuits. But also, this comment right here I've seen make the rounds on social media. It's on Ethan's video. This sums up everything perfectly.
Ethan unfollowing Frogan is the Franz Ferdinand of the internet. What the heck? What an interesting comparison. Whoever made this is great. That's an interesting comparison.
Ethan unfollowing Frogan is the Franz Ferdinand of the internet. But yeah, that's all it was. That's how all of this started. All the dominoes of this lawsuit, which is the final result, began with a simple unfollow and Frogan taking it very, very personally. Now, ever since the filing of the lawsuit, many people have been running defense for the people who are subject to this lawsuit, including this Dexertonox account, which I don't know if that's like a side account of Dexerto or this is a parody or whatever. It reads like a parody.
It has to be a parody. Dexerto isn't particularly super political. They're mostly neutral, except when it's like very obvious that there's no need to be neutral. That's the perfect description, actually. Kinda, yeah. Kinda, yeah, sure. I mean, that's how it all started.
Where they say Ethan Klein reveals he created his content nuke to bait Hasan into watching it so he could sue him for copyright. Because Hasan never finished the video after spending 9 hours reacting to half, Ethan is suing 3 smaller female streamers instead.
Because Hasan never finished the video after spending 9 hours reacting to half. Are you telling me homie went online for 9 hours reacting to half of the video? Okay. Sure. That's interesting. Also, I find it funny. Ethan's doing 3 smaller female streamers. I wonder why that's put in there. Smaller and female. It feels kinda a setup here.
What a dishonest representation of this entire situation, which of course a lot of the people involved in this are retweeting this in support of it, but we all know this wasn't because these streamers were females, it's because they maliciously tried to act as a market replacement for his video.
Pretty much. How the fuck do you react to 9 hours and not finish it? Bro edged himself with a video. Probably 9 hours and 6 were just his chair. Probably. Very likely. Yeah. And you're blocking my man Ref. Well, he is blocked behind me because he's not even moving. Fuck, how much was bro yapping? I have no idea how much he was yapping. I don't know. It's just crazy. He spent 9 hours. 9 fucking hours. That makes no sense.
They didn't just have lazy reactions, like, literally leaving the room and letting the video continue playing. All 3 of which, who are subject to these lawsuits, stated clearly their intent was to act as a replacement for Ethan's video. Instead of watching Ethan's video directly, people could go to their stream instead. They made their intent very clear, and that is very important to a copyright infringement case. But here's some more stuff, including a repost from Hasan Piker, where this person says, I'm not a legal expert, clearly, but posting a video admitting you intentionally targeted specific creators, that you laid all this out as a trap seems like it will lead to an automatic loss, right? No. And also, it's really funny. They're worried about people intentionally doing things. All 3 people who were hit with these lawsuits made it very clear.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not a legal expert, but posting a video admitting you intentionally targeted specific creators and that you laid all of this out as a trap seems like it will lead to an automatic loss, right? Not necessarily, no, not as far as I'm concerned. Nah, I don't think so. Because that's like, those are separate, right? And while you can, like, would it be like that argument? I think that argument wouldn't count. Like, if you set up a trap for a, I don't know, somebody that's committing that is committing a crime, or does something wrong, does something that you can sue them for, and you lay out a trap because you know they're gonna do it. Like, how would that... Exactly, when the police set up a bust, do they lose the case for setting it up? Yeah, that's exactly the point I was trying to make. You made it very, very much more simpler. Yeah, pretty much that's what it is.
Their intention was to create a market replacement of his video. But on top of that, any sort of people saying, oh, he can't lay a trap. He can absolutely lay a trap. First of all, this is not entrapment. This is not an issue because he's not law enforcement or working on behalf of the government. That's a completely different thing. But if you're saying like, oh, it's going to get thrown out because he made it easy for them to commit a crime, that's not how it works. If I go to a tough part of the neighborhood and leave my car unlocked, the people who steal my property from that car are still breaking the law. That's not how this works. Very desperate attempts here. Here's another one trying to shame members of Ethan Klein's podcast. This person named Mail Slayer. Makes sense.
Oh no. Yeah, you're not slaying any males. The only male that's gonna be slain is the mail that these 3 will be receiving from their own lawyers and Ethan's lawyer. That's the only male that's gonna be slain.
They say the fact Ethan Klein is suing her and AB, a member of the show, and that AB has said nothing, done nothing, and didn't even warn her is disgusting. And then tagging him, they say you're a fraud, a sellout, and a effing disgusting person, and your wife isn't any better. Yes, because this guy had to warn completely unrelated parties not to steal from his boss.
Yeah. Yeah, the police should warn me when I'm about to commit a crime. Yeah, sure. The only man who will be slayed is the one marrying her. I don't think she's gonna marry any man. I think she's gonna end up with like 15 cats in like a one-bedroom apartment.
And now you're shaming him, calling him disgusting, and his wife as well. Nice. And then this Connor Eats Plants or Pants individual decided to tweet this and quickly delete it, where he said maybe another lawsuit will fill the void in H3H3's heart, normally reserved for Palestinian children. This is a stunning and brave post, and I'm shocked they deleted it so fast. And here's perhaps the most controversial response before we get into all the...
Oh no! Oh no! It's Anissa! Well, good it didn't come from iDubbbz. That would have been worse. The cucktress herself. The woman that cucks.
The developments going on with the three recipients of the lawsuit. Anissa Joma, of course the wife of iDubbbz, says Casey
Husband. He's the wife.
Tron is objectively the funniest person on the internet. And notice how there's a proposed community note that needs more upvotes before it goes live. That is very funny. Pursue the truth, guys. Just pursue the truth. Now, looking at Casey Tron, there is something that is very...
Wait, they're gonna nuke her with a community note and be like, no.
funny about her situation. Her GoFundMe. It's very funny. There's been like a sort of like almost sports commentary like coverage of the...
There's 312 donations. I'm curious. How much is that? Like, it's $8,000. But even under these 300, how much would each have to be donating? Let's assume, right? That's at least... Everyone has to at least donate $26.67. But I don't think everyone has done that. So there might be people throwing hundreds at her. Hundreds! Bro has no concept of humor. Probably not. There must be people who threw like more than like possibly 1,000 even throwing at this loser herb smoker.
These three GoFundMes, because now all three recipients of the lawsuits have filed GoFundMes, and we begin with Casey Tron, the last horse in this race right now, who has raised $8,300 on their $100,000 goal so far, a couple days in. That's 8%. It's not looking great. Next up, we have Frogan. Now she has
200K. 200K, huh? Does it look good? That does not look good. 24,000, 12%, 467 donations. That does not look good. Maybe if she stopped buying weed, she wouldn't need donations for defense. Maybe she made a proper reaction to the video. She didn't, maybe would have not needed that, because, you know, then it would be fair use.
The highest number of money raised so far with 24,000. Unfortunately, she was feeling a little extra with her her campaign. Instead of doing 100,000 like the other two girls in this, she did 200,000 because apparently she's twice as important as them, and that unfortunately leaves her at only 12% of her GoFundMe defense fund. Not good. And then we have Denims, who's sitting at 23,000, which constitutes
100K. 23,595 donations. Interesting. So, why does Frogan need 200,000? Interesting. Second of all, she wearing a hijab? Yes, Hijab of the Hut is wearing a hijab. Interesting. That means Frogan got more support than Denims financially.
24%, putting her in the lead currently because she only has it at 100K. But you look at the whole spread here. They are hundreds of thousands of dollars short. And the ultimate irony of all this, right, is that all this money, Ethan wants it. He wants all of these fundraisers to be fulfilled because that gives money into their pockets, which will then be something he can sue them for and collect if he wins this case. So he doesn't care if they fail, and he doesn't really care if they win either because it all goes to his benefit. Now, one of the funniest people, or I would say the funniest person involved in this set of lawsuits is Denims TV, who's clearly not...
Yeah, like he's literally just gonna collect the money. Just make Hassan for money that work out better. At this point, yeah. Literally. Just ask him for money. That would work out more.
...hired a lawyer yet because she is absolutely dismantling her own case in really bold and stunning ways. Beginning with this clip, basically it's massive denial and copium, where for the months leading into this, she was trying to make it very clear to her audience and her detractors that she was not going to get sued by Ethan Klein. And also keep in mind, by the way, she did a fundraiser, a GoFundMe fundraiser, a previous one, to try to raise $150,000 to sue Ethan Klein. That failed. And now she's responding with a GoFundMe when Ethan files one against her.
Huh. Does she really believe that if the first one failed, the second one's not gonna fail? I don't think so. The one who smokes a lot and the one who wears a job at different people. Yeah. Casey Troughton is the one that smokes. Frogan is the one with the hijab. Probably pretty good.
But anyways, this is the level of denial and copium she had up until this point.
How's the lawsuit going? Nowhere, because Ethan Klein's too much of a sue me because he knows he'll lose. I love these people though that are like, any day now, he's gonna sue. Chat, just a reminder, by the way, after he paraded on the internet about how he was gonna sue me and he wanted to sue me, guess what? Still no lawsuit. Oh my God, he's so bitch made. I'm actually pretty certain that his lawyer told him to stop going after me. His lawyer most likely said, dude, you need to stop. You actually need to stop. Whatever, you think I'm an idiot, you think I'm the dumbest person alive, that's fine. Go read the lawsuit. Maybe if you don't want to respect me, you can go respect a judge and a lawyer.
Yeah, if it wasn't copyright, I'd be playing the Curb Your Enthusiasm song right now. She is facing something that she felt would never happen, and it's chef's kiss, man. It's great. She also had this very wise decision. Again, she clearly doesn't have a lawyer with her right now. She announced that her original reaction to the content nuke, which is the subject of this entire thing, is available and highlighted on her Twitch profile. Ballsy move. Unfortunately, it appears
very much caught in 4K. Respect the judge, boy, you are dead. You're dead, man. Cooked, in fact, finished. Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting how she can still have it up. That's a very bold move. If that backfires, you're actually cooked.
And I checked through this myself, she has cut a great deal of the video, including some of the most important highlights of this stream that is in question, including the statement where she says, well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, and throw a prime if you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here. Which is important because the
caught in 4K, straight up caught. These people just don't learn. They just don't learn. They just do not learn.
Shows the intent that she wanted people to not only watch her video or watch her stream as a market replacement for Ethan's video, but also she wanted to financially enrich herself in the process, making this even more egregious. On top of that, because we now have this lawsuit in motion, this easily could be considered deleting of evidence. She is trying to hide evidence against her. She's messed.
Oh no. Oh no, this could be actually worse. This could go much worse. This could go actually much worse. This could in fact go much worse. Oh, nah, dude. Well, she actually is fucking stupid. She actually is. You cannot just delete evidence, bro.
Around with it, and that's something that Frogan did as well. She completely nuked all of the videos on her Twitch channel right when this lawsuit was announced. Not a good look for these two. It's a somewhat of an admission of guilt, and it could be potentially the deletion of evidence, which, by the way, Ethan's lawyers are going to have. Like, are you kidding me? Here's another great take from her where she said,
very true. I would assume that the moment one of those streams the streams were over, they would download it immediately. They gotta be downloaded immediately. It just makes sense.
Stealing from a corporation is the same as stealing from Ethan Klein because he's rich. So it doesn't count. Brilliant legal defense.
Here, we'll make this a grander scale. If you check your bank account and like Chase accidentally refunded you an extra $50, you might look at that and be like they were supposed to refund you for some charge or something, and then they accidentally gave you another $50, and you see that and you're like, I didn't see anything. Well, listen, they can correct it. They can find it themselves. They can correct it. I don't really care that much. All right. I don't really care that much. If some old lady on the street is like, hey, you know, do you have change for a $10 bill? Nobody carries cash around. But like, do you have change for a $10 bill? I just need to pay the meter. And she hands you a $50 bill instead of a $10 bill and says, oh, you know, times are so tough right now, but you know, got to pay the meter. And you keep the 50. See how one of those feels morally worse? One of those feels like...
But they're both the same. You're just admitting, like, they're both technically the same. They're both morally questionable. Would I keep the money? For the company, probably. Usually not. Like, if it happens, I'm like, hey, something's wrong. Except when I don't notice it myself, which has happened a couple of times. But, like, even when I'm, like, shopping and I have, like water bottles into the lower part of the cart, right? I'm like, hey, yo, there's water down here. Don't forget that. In the court, still, it's the same. One feels worse, but the core's still the same.
You're stealing from someone who does need it, or you're stealing from, I don't know, not a corporation. One of those feels worse. We're not talking about legality. It's theft regardless. We're talking about what is morally worse. It's theft regardless.
It's theft regardless.
Yeah, that's it so far. Some very funny updates on this entire situation. These people are absolutely cooked. It's looking worse and worse each day for them because, well, they're just making it worse for themselves by acting like this, deleting things, trying to cut things out, and being brazen in their belief that this whole thing is just a big joke. And it's not. It's not a joke. It's going to be an uphill battle for Ethan Klein and his team. Obviously, copyright infringement is not the easiest thing in the world to prove, but they're making it easier for him. That's for sure.
Yep. I really hope. I do, in fact, hope that he wins this. He should win this. Just because it would be funny. It would be like, you know, that one meme with like Timmy Turner like praying and being like, I hope this happens. It would be so funny. Yeah, that's me.
Their actions are making it easier for him, and absolutely nobody who is sentient in any sort of a way feels bad for these subjects of litigation here because they've been really messing around and just waiting to find out, or in this case, really never expecting to find out. And now that they are, panic is ensuing, and these GoFundMes are hilarious. And whether they get fulfilled or not, it's all going to go to the benefit of who else but Ethan Klein. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments.
My view is very simple. My view is, in fact, very, very simple. Get them sued. I will enjoy it. I will relish in their pain. He won't win unless the judge is his son's father or simp something, because money do its magic even in court. Yeah, very true, very true. But yeah, I hope he wins. I hope he wins. He just sues them into the ground. Well, Casey John, welcome back to debt. And maybe even Denims. And maybe even Frogan. Yeah, but Denims has the ability to slot herself out on a whiff. So there's that. But yeah, we'll see what happens.